Before you listen to the rest of this, I need you to answer one question in your heart, right now. Why did you cry in sujood that day when nothing was wrong? You remember it. You were praying like normal. Your forehead touched the ground, and suddenly, your chest tightened, your breath changed, your eyes filled, but you didn't know why. You couldn't explain it. You couldn't control it. It came from a place you don't have words for, and deep down, you felt like something was trying to reach you. You may have ignored it. You may have wiped the tear and kept going. You may have told yourself, it was just emotion. I don't know. It just happened. But listen, no tear in sujood is just emotion. Something was happening to you. Something you didn't understand at the time. And if you stop watching now, you will miss the meaning of that moment. So hear me, because what I'm about to tell you is the one explanation your heart has been searching for, but your mind could never find. If you cried in sujood without reason, Allah was calling you. And if your heart is beating differently right now, if your breathing just slowed, if your soul feels like it recognizes these words, then you already know this message is for you, and you cannot walk away from it. Stay, because in the next few minutes, you will understand something that will change the way you see your pain, your past, your silence, and your entire journey back to Allah. Stay until the end. Your soul is already listening. When your soul begins to speak, there are some moments in sujood that cannot be explained to another person, because what is happening is not visible to the eyes. It is not something the tongue can describe. It is something the heart feels all at once. A quiet earthquake inside the soul. You place your forehead on the ground, and your body is still, but inside you, something is breaking and being rebuilt at the same time. Your heart begins to tremble, not out of fear, not out of sadness, but out of recognition, as if it has suddenly remembered something ancient, something pure, something it has been longing for without knowing how to name it. The world disappears in that moment. The problems, the stress, the thoughts, the noise, it all fades. And there is just you and Allah. No one else exists. Your chest feels heavy, but it is the heaviness of returning home after being lost for too long. Your breath becomes uneven because your soul finally found the place where it can breathe. Your tears fall, not because of pain, but because relief has finally arrived. And you don't know how to explain that to anyone. How do you explain that your heart cried without a reason your mind could understand? How do you explain that your soul recognized a feeling your body forgot? You didn't plan to cry. There was no sad memory in your mind. No wound you were thinking about. No sentence you were repeating. It just happened. Because sometimes the tears do not come from the mind. They come from the soul. Your soul has been holding things your tongue never spoke. Your soul has been carrying pain your voice never shared. Your soul has been exhausted in ways that sleep couldn't fix. And in sujood, when everything becomes silent, the soul finally finds the courage to speak. It speaks in the only language it remembers. Tears. Not tears of defeat. Not tears of hopelessness. Not tears of sadness, but tears of return. Tears that say, Ya Allah, I didn't realize how far I drifted. Ya Allah, I didn't know how tired I had become. Ya Allah, I didn't know how much I missed you. Ya Allah, I can't pretend to be strong anymore. Hold me. Your body has spent so much time surviving. Your mind has spent so much time overthinking. Your heart has spent so much time quietly hurting. But your soul has been calling you back to Allah this whole time. Every moment you felt empty, but didn't know why. It was the soul. Every time a happiness felt incomplete, it was the soul. Every time you felt lonely, even around people, it was the soul. Your soul wasn't looking for the world. It was looking for Allah. And when you went into sujood, the soul finally arrived at the one it was created to love. No words were needed, no explanations, no perfect dua, just presence, just being there, just letting go. This is why your heart trembled. This is why your tears came. This is why you felt something so deep it scared you. It was the moment your soul said, "I have found my way back." And Allah, the most gentle, the most loving, the most knowing, responded to you without speaking a word. "I never left you, even when you were distant, even when you were distracted, even when your heart was drowning in dunya, even when you forgot him for days, weeks, months. Allah did not abandon you. He was just waiting for the moment your heart would soften enough to feel him again. And in that sujood, that moment arrived. Your tears were not random. They were not meaningless. They were not emotional confusion. They were proof. Proof that Allah touched your heart gently. Proof that your soul is still alive. Proof that Allah is still calling you. Proof that you are being pulled back to Him. Most people hide their tears, but Allah allows your tears to fall only when He is opening a door inside you. Your sujood was not just prayer. It was healing. It was cleansing. It was your heart coming back to its Creator after being lost in the noise of the world. Your tears are not a breakdown. Your tears are a return. And when you are there in sujood, you realize something else. You realize that the tears didn't come to break you. They came to free you. Because for so long, you've been holding everything together. Holding the house, holding the responsibilities, holding your emotions, holding your pain, holding your disappointments, holding your silent battles. You didn't want to burden anyone. You didn't want to seem weak, so you kept everything inside. But the heart is not a storage container. The heart is a garden, and what is buried inside it will grow. And sometimes it grows into pain, into exhaustion, into silence, into numbness. And Allah knows. He knows how long you've been strong while your soul was tired. He knows how much weight you've been carrying alone. He knows how many times you smiled to avoid explaining the pain. He knows the nights you went to bed feeling a heaviness you couldn't describe. So Allah gave you a place to finally drop everything. Sujood. The ground becomes the place where your pain melts, where your fears fall, where your wounds are washed, where your soul finds oxygen again. And your tears, they are not falling down. They are falling toward Allah. Every tear that leaves your eye is a piece of your sadness leaving your heart. Every breath you tremble through is your soul being reshaped. Every moment your forehead touches the ground, Allah is gently breaking what needed to be broken and building what needed to be rebuilt. You don't need to explain to Him what hurts. He already knows. He knew before you entered prayer. He knew before the tear formed. He knew before the heartbeat changed. He knew, and He was patiently waiting for this moment, for you to come back to Him, not with perfect words, not with perfect strength, not with perfect faith, but just as you are, tired, soft, hurt, searching, needing, longing, because Allah does not want the best version of you. He wants the real you, the one who is fragile at the end of the day, the one who doubts sometimes, the one who sins and regrets, the one who tries and falls, the one who is just human. He wants the you that cries in sujood, because that version of you is honest, raw, pure, truthful, unmasked, awake. The world teaches you to hide your weakness, but Allah teaches you to bring your weakness to Him, because your weakness is the doorway to His mercy. You may think you are crying because you are breaking, but in reality, you are crying because you are returning. Your soul was thirsty. Your heart was longing. Your spirit was suffocating in silence. And sujood became the place where your soul finally exhaled. You didn't cry because something bad happened. You cried because something true happened. The heart recognized Allah before the mind did. The heart remembered its origin, its home, its peace, its owner, and the tears said what your voice could not. Ya Allah, I missed you. And Allah replied, though you did not hear it through words, but through peace that settled in your chest right after the tears fell. I never left you. I was waiting for you to notice me again. Your tears in sujood were not weakness. They were awareness. They were awakening. They were the soul rising after sleeping for too long. They were the heart returning to the one it was created to love. That sujood was not just a moment. It was a rebirth. When Allah breaks you softly, there are times in life when Allah decides to bring you back to Him, but not through the storms you fear, not through pain that crushes you, not through hardships that tear your world apart. Instead, Allah breaks you softly, so softly that no one around you even notices. You still smile, you still talk, you still live your day, but inside, something begins to loosen, something begins to melt, something begins to fall apart, quietly, not in destruction, but in awakening. Allah knows how to break you in the exact place where you have been holding yourself together for too long. He knows the exact moment your soul starts whispering, I can't do this alone anymore. And Allah responds by gently opening your heart, not with force, not with shock, but with softness so deep it feels like a whisper inside your chest. There is a kind of breaking that doesn't look like breaking. It looks like silence. It looks like staring at the ceiling with thoughts too heavy to speak. It looks like sitting in the car a little longer because you don't have the strength to step out yet. It looks like wiping tears before anyone sees. It looks like numbness. But Allah sees numbness as a beginning, not an ending, because numbness means your heart has stopped pretending. It has stopped lying to itself. It has stopped running. It is finally still. And in that stillness, Allah begins His work. He doesn't break your life. He breaks your attachment to the things that were hurting you. He breaks the love you gave to the wrong people. He breaks the expectations that kept disappointing you. He breaks the plans that were silently destroying you. He breaks the version of you that was surviving instead of living. And He does it gently. He doesn't take everything at once. He removes one thing at a time. One comfort, one distraction, one illusion, one person, not to punish you, but to protect you. Allah will never tear something away unless He is replacing it with something better, even if you don't see it yet. Sometimes, the softness of Allah's breaking comes as a heaviness in the heart. You don't know why you feel disconnected. You don't know why you feel tired. You don't know why the world feels loud. But your soul knows. It is being pulled away from people, pulled away from noise, pulled away from the illusion of control, and pulled toward Him. This is why the tears fall in sujood without reason. This is why the chest hurts without explanation. This is why silence feels louder than words. Because the breaking is happening on the inside. And not everyone will understand this type of breaking, because they have never felt Allah rebuild them from the inside first. You may try to explain it to someone. I don't know what's happening. I just feel different. But they won't understand, because this is not a mind experience. This is not mental. This is not psychological. This is spiritual. The soul is remembering its Lord, and remembering is always painful in the beginning. Because to remember Allah, you must let go of everything that replaced Him, and that letting go feels like breaking. But it is not destruction. It is returning. Your tears are not a sign of weakness. Your exhaustion is not a sign of failure. Your silence is not a sign of emptiness. It is a sign that Allah is near. It is Allah saying, you have tried everything else. Now try me. And the heart softens. The body trembles. The tears fall. The world disappears. This is the breaking that leads to healing. This is the breaking that leads to clarity. This is the breaking that leads to Allah. This is the breaking that saves you. Your soul is tired of carrying what you won't say. There are things inside you that you have never said out loud, wounds you never described, pain you never explained, memories you never shared, feelings you never had the right words for. You carried them quietly. You laughed while something inside you remained heavy. You talked and smiled and lived, while a part of your heart stayed sore. You held the world together while your inner world was slowly collapsing. You told yourself, "It's nothing. I'll get over it. It's fine. I can handle it. No one needs to know." And because you never said it, because you never released it, because you never allowed yourself to feel it fully, your soul began carrying it for you. Your soul carried heartbreak. Your soul carried betrayal. Your soul carried loneliness. Your soul carried the pain of being misunderstood. Your soul carried the weight of disappointments you never named. Your soul carried everything your voice couldn't. And souls are not meant to carry that much, for that long, all alone. So your soul became tired. Not tired like sleep can fix. Not tired like a vacation can refresh. Not tired like a deep breath can soothe. No, your soul became tired in a silent way. In a way no one sees, in a way that shows up only when you're alone, in the way your eyes look at the wall late at night, searching for something that doesn't have a name. People look at you and think you are okay. They think you are strong. They think you are stable. They think you don't need help, because you learned how to carry your pain gracefully. But Allah sees what the world doesn't. Allah sees the storm behind your calm voice. Allah sees the exhaustion behind your steady tone. Allah sees the ache behind your quiet patience. Allah sees the tears you refuse to let fall in public. And because Allah sees, He does not let your soul drown in silence. So Allah brings you to sujood, to the ground, to the lowest physical position a human can be, so your soul can rise. You go into sujood, maybe without intention to cry. Maybe you just wanted to pray. Maybe you just wanted to finish your salah quickly. Maybe you were just doing what you've always done. But the moment your forehead touches the earth, your soul recognizes where it came from and who it belongs to. And the tears come, and the chest shakes, and the breath breaks. Not because of sadness, no, but because your soul finally found a place to empty itself. Every unspoken word, every silent hurt, every swallowed pain, every abandoned dream, every unanswered why, your soul pours it out in the only moment it feels safe. Sujood. The tears you cry there are not emotional tears. They are spiritual release. It is your soul saying, "I have been tired for so long. I couldn't carry this anymore. Take it from me, Ya Allah. I can't pretend to be strong alone anymore." And Allah, the most gentle, never turns away a heart that is tired. There is a kind of heartbreak that people never notice, but Allah notices. There is a kind of sadness you cannot label, but Allah understands it without words. There is a depth of loneliness you could never describe, but Allah has already heard it echoing in your chest. This is why your tears in sujood feel different. They don't feel like sadness. They feel like letting go. The kind of letting go that frees you. The kind of letting go that removes weights you didn't know were heavy until they began to fall. The kind of letting go that makes you realize how long your soul has been exhausted. You were not weak for feeling tired. You were not weak for holding on for so long. You were not weak for pretending to be okay when you weren't. You were simply human. And your soul was simply calling you back to the one who created it. Because there is only one place where the soul can rest. Only one place where the soul can breathe. Only one place where the soul can release its hidden weight, with Allah. Sujood is where masks fall off. There are places in life where you have to hold yourself together. Places where you must smile even when your heart feels heavy. Places where you must speak softly even when your voice wants to break. Places where you must pretend to be strong even when you are tired of being strong. You know those places. Around family, around friends, around people who expect you to have it all figured out, around people who think they understand you, around people who would not know what to do with the truth if you handed it to them. So you learn to wear masks. A mask for strength, a mask for calmness, a mask for confidence, a mask that says, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm managing, even when you're not. And the world believes the mask, because people only see the surface. They see the smile, not the shaking hands. They hear the voice, not the heaviness behind it. They look at your life and say, you're strong, but only Allah knows how much it took to stand there without falling apart. You became so used to holding yourself together that you forgot what it feels like to let yourself fall apart. Until sujood. There is something about placing your forehead on the ground that breaks everything fake inside you. Something about lowering yourself physically that lowers your defenses spiritually. Something about touching the earth, the place your body came from, that reminds your soul of the one who breathed life into it. In sujood, the masks do not survive. You cannot pretend to be strong while your head is on the ground. You cannot pretend you're not tired while your chest is shaking. You cannot pretend you don't need Allah while your tears are falling faster than you can wipe them away. Sujood is the place where your soul finally says, I cannot carry this anymore. I am tired of pretending. I am tired of being strong for everyone. I am tired of acting like I don't feel anything. Sujood is where the truth of your heart becomes louder than the performance of your life. You don't need to explain your pain. You don't need to translate your tears. You don't need to organize your feelings into sentences. You just let the heart speak, and the heart speaks in silence. The heart speaks in tears. The heart speaks in trembling breath. The heart speaks in that deep, quiet collapse that only Allah sees. And Allah understands it all without you saying a single word. Sujood is not a physical posture. It is a transfer of the weight you've been carrying. You go into sujood with your burdens, and you rise lighter. You go into sujood with confusion, and you rise more centered. You go into sujood with heartbreak, and you rise with a heart that is slowly stitching itself back together. Because when you bow before Allah, you stop bowing before the world. When you lower your head to the ground, you lift your soul higher than the sky. When you cry in sujood, you are not breaking, you are being reborn. The masks fall off in sujood because Allah is the only one you never needed to pretend for. Not once, not ever. He is the only one who has seen every crack in your heart, every disappointment you tried to swallow, every moment you almost broke but didn't, every night you cried and wiped the tears before anyone saw. And yet, He never judged you. He never turned away from you. He never said, why are you weak? He never said, why are you emotional? He said, come to me. Tell me. Let it out. I am here. So you release. And for the first time in a long time, you feel real again. Not the strong version. Not the controlled version. Not the polite, composed, unbothered version. But the soft, breathing, living heart that has been aching to be seen. Sujood is where Allah sees you, not the version you show the world, but the version your soul hides. And He says, I know, I see you, and I will heal you. Allah knows the wound you cannot name. There are wounds inside you that you do not have words for, wounds that formed so quietly you didn't notice when they began, wounds that grew slowly, the way sadness can grow into the bones. Wounds that did not come from one moment, but from years of holding, absorbing, adjusting, and pretending. Not all pain announces itself loudly. Some pain lives in silence. Some pain lives in the pauses between your breaths. Some pain lives in the way your chest feels heavier at night for no reason. And sometimes you cannot even explain to yourself what hurts. You just feel it. An ache, a weight, a tightness that sits behind the ribs. Something nameless, shapeless, wordless. You try to trace it. You try to understand it. You try to ask yourself, what is wrong with me? But the answer does not come, because the wound is not in your mind, where thoughts live. It is not in your memory, where stories live. It is in your heart, where your soul breathes. And the heart has its own language, a language the tongue cannot speak. You don't know how to talk about the things you never allowed yourself to feel, so the pain stays inside waiting for the moment the heart no longer has to pretend it is fine. That moment is sujood, when your head is on the ground, when you stop performing strength, when there is no audience, when it is only you and the one who created you. That is when the wound rises, not to hurt you but to be released. You are not crying because of sadness. You are crying because your heart finally feels safe enough to show itself. Allah already knew, long before you cried, long before you broke, long before you got tired. Allah saw the pain when no one else noticed the change in your eyes. Allah heard the silent cries you never let escape. Allah counted every moment you almost collapsed, but held yourself together one more time. People see the strong version of you. Allah sees the version of you that trembles behind closed doors. People see the face that smiles. Allah sees the heart that bleeds quietly in the dark. Allah knows the wound even when you cannot name it. He knows the moment it formed. He knows how heavy it has become. He knows how long you have been carrying it alone. He knows how deeply it sits. And He does not need you to explain it. He does not need you to find the right dua. He does not need you to form perfect sentences. He does not need you to understand your own pain. He only needs you to bring your heart to Him, just as it is. Untidy, confused, heavy, shaken, weary. You don't have to translate your tears. Allah reads them. You don't have to describe your pain. Allah already holds it. You don't have to know why it hurts. Allah knows the reason you don't remember. You cry in sujood because your heart finally found a place where it doesn't have to hide. And Allah says, give it to me. You do not have to carry this anymore. Every tear that falls is a release. Every breath that cracks is a healing. Every moment your forehead touches the ground is a transfer of weight from your heart to His mercy. You are not breaking. You are being unburdened. There are wounds that live so deeply inside you that even you stopped trying to understand them. You got used to them, used to the heaviness, used to the silence, used to the numbness, used to waking up with a heart that feels older than your age, used to smiling with a kind of sadness that no one can see. You kept living, you kept functioning, you kept showing up, but something inside you hasn't rested in years. And because you never said it, because you never let yourself collapse, because you never allowed the tears to flow when the heart first cracked, the wound grew, not louder, just deeper. It blended into your identity. It became part of your breathing. It became part of your voice. It became part of your silence. You didn't forget the wound. You learned how to live around it. But Allah never let it fade from His sight. He watched every moment you tried to heal yourself with distractions. He watched every person you tried to trust your heart with. He watched every night you stared at the ceiling, trying to swallow your emotions whole. He watched your heart struggle to stay alive. And He waited. Not because He abandoned you, not because He wanted you to suffer, but because He knew you would come back to Him differently, not as someone simply seeking a blessing, not as someone asking for something temporary, not as someone who wants their life to look better on the outside, but as someone whose heart finally knows where healing comes from. There are tears that fall without sound in sujood, the kind that never reach the outside world. Tears that stay inside the eyes. Tears that feel like they are falling inward. into the soul. Those tears are the ones Allah accepts the fastest, because they are pure, they are real, they are the heart speaking truth for the first time in a long time. And when your tears fall in sujood, they are not falling to the ground, they are falling into the hands of Ar-Rahman. Every tear is recorded, every breath is witnessed, every silent cry is heard, every piece of your heart that trembles is known. You don't need to perform strength anymore in that moment. Allah does not need your perfection. He is not waiting for you to be fixed before you come to Him. He is not expecting you to figure yourself out before you cry. He just wants your heart as it is. If it is tired, let it come tired. If it is confused, let it come confused. If it is trembling, let it come trembling. If it is broken, let it come broken. Do not hide your wound from the one who created the place inside you where it lives. Allah is not asking you, "What happened to you? Why are you hurting? What did they do?" No, Allah is saying, "Give it to me." He is not asking for explanations. He is asking for surrender, because He already knows the wound. He already knows its history. He already knows its depth. He already knows how it shaped you. He already knows the part of you that died because of it. He already knows the part of you that is still trying to live in spite of it. And He also knows how to heal it. But healing does not begin when the wound is understood. Healing begins when the wound is placed in His hands. There will come a day when the same wound that once made your heart ache will become the reason you found Allah more deeply than you ever had. And on that day, you will realize the wound was not a punishment. The wound was not abandonment. The wound was not cruelty. The wound was the doorway. The doorway back to Him. The call back to Allah is never harsh. There comes a time in every believer's life where the heart begins to feel a pull. A quiet pull. A gentle pull. A pull so soft that at first you don't even recognize it is coming from Allah. It does not feel like fear. It does not feel like punishment. It does not feel like force. It feels like longing, a longing you cannot describe, a heaviness you cannot explain, a question you cannot answer, a feeling that something is missing, even if everything in your life looks fine on the outside. That is the call. The call back to Allah never comes with shouting, never with harshness, never with pressure. It comes like a whisper inside the heart. It comes as a sudden silence in the middle of your day. It comes as tears that fall without reason. It comes as a moment in sujood where your heart suddenly breaks open and you don't know why. Allah does not call you back with fear. He calls you back with softness. He calls you back through the ache that sits quietly in your chest, through the sadness you have no explanation for, through the longing that just won't go away. You think you are lost. You think you are confused. You think something is wrong. But no, this is guidance. This is love. This is invitation. Allah is saying, you have tried everything else. You have knocked on many doors. You have given yourself to many places, but none of them healed you. Come to me. I will heal you. Allah does not say it with words. He says it by making the world feel empty. He says it by removing the taste from the things that once distracted you. He says it by making your heart restless until it returns to Him. The call back to Allah does not feel like being pushed. It feels like being pulled by something gentle, pulled by something familiar, pulled by something safe, pulled by something that feels like home. Because the truth is, your soul always knew where home was. Your mind may have forgotten. Your habits may have drifted. Your emotions may have gotten lost. But your soul never forgot Allah. So when Allah calls you back, it is not a new journey. It is a return to a love that has been waiting for you, a return to a safety you didn't know was missing, a return to a peace you haven't felt in a long time, a return to the one who never abandoned you, not even for a moment. You did not return because you became strong. You returned because Allah's mercy reached you. You did not return because you figured your life out. You returned because Allah softened your heart. You did not return because you were wise. You returned because Allah chose you. Sometimes the softest call back to Allah comes through loneliness. When you look around and realize no one truly understands your soul. When you realize you could be surrounded by people and still feel alone. Allah allows that loneliness, not to break you, but to guide you. Because loneliness is the soul saying, you're looking for something that doesn't exist in the world. You're looking for Allah. And when you realize that, the tears you cry are not tears of sadness. They are tears of recognition. Your soul has remembered. Your heart has awakened. You have been called. And the one calling you is the one who created you. The one who raised you. The one who protected you even when you didn't know he was protecting you. The one who forgave you before you even asked. The one who loved you long before you knew how to love him. When Allah calls you back, it is never harsh. It is love. The kind of love that heals what no one saw. The kind of love that reaches wounds you never spoke of. The kind of love that finds you where you are, not where you wish you were. And he says, come, I know the way back. Just take one step, and I will carry you the rest. The call back to Allah rarely arrives in the moments when your life looks broken. Most of the time, it comes when your life looks fine on the surface. You wake up, you go to work, you talk to people, you laugh when needed, you reply to messages, you move through each day like everyone else. But inside, something is missing. Something feels quiet. Something feels unfinished. Something feels like it is calling your name from far away. That is Allah speaking to your heart, not through miracles, not through visions, not through dramatic signs, but through the ache of being alive but not truly living. Because life without Allah is not really life. It is just breathing, just surviving, just passing through days trying to feel something you cannot reach. And Allah sees that. He sees the emptiness behind your routine. He sees the sadness beneath your smile. He sees the exhaustion in your silence. He sees the pain you don't tell anyone about. So he calls you, but his call is never loud. It is gentle, like remembering something you forgot but deeply need, like missing someone your heart has always known, like longing for a home you have never seen. This is why you feel drawn to sujood in ways you cannot explain. This is why your chest gets heavy at night when everyone else is sleeping. This is why your tears fall suddenly when you hear Quran. Even if you don't understand the words, your soul understands. Your soul hears Allah. Your soul remembers Him even when your mind does not. This is the call. Not the call of fear, not the call of guilt, not the call of punishment. The call of love. The kind of love that does not shame you for drifting. The kind of love that does not remind you of your sins with severity. The kind of love that does not slam the door and demand perfection. No, Allah calls you back with gentleness. Come, just as you are, with your mistakes, with your flaws, with your confusion, with your weakness, with your exhaustion. Just come. You do not need to be ready. You do not need to feel strong. You do not need to understand everything. Your heart only needs to move one step. Just one, because Allah meets you with 1,000. He does not say, fix yourself first. He says, I will fix you, just return. He does not say, become pure before you come. He says, come to me, and I will purify you. He does not say, be perfect. Be perfect. He says, be honest. The call back to Allah is never harsh. Harshness is from people. Gentleness is from Allah. Harshness pushes you away. Gentleness pulls you in. And Allah is the most gentle, the most loving, the one who turns hearts. the one who softens souls, the one who heals quietly. When you return to Allah, you do not return to a judge waiting to punish you. You return to the one who has been waiting for you your entire life. You return to the one who saw every tear you didn't cry. You return to the one who saw every heartbreak you hid. You return to the one who held your heart together when you felt like falling apart. And he says to you, without words, but you feel it in your bones, "You are mine. I never left you. Come home." There are moments in life when you stop in the middle of doing something ordinary, pouring water, tying your shoes, closing a door, sitting in silence, and suddenly your chest feels full. Not painful, not heavy like sadness, but full of something you cannot explain. A feeling like you're about to cry without knowing why. A feeling like something inside you has remembered something important. That is the call. The call back to Allah is not a voice you hear with your ears. It is a voice you hear with your heart. It sounds like, "I don't want this dunya anymore. I miss peace. I want something real. I want to go home." But you don't know where home is in that moment. You look for peace in people. You look for love in conversations. You look for clarity in distractions. You look for meaning in achievements. But the heart remains unsettled because the heart knows its home. And its home is Allah. Not this world, not a person, not a future plan, not a dream, not a goal. The heart was made to rest in Allah, and the heart will remain restless until it returns to Him. You can change your environment. You can change your routine. You can change your habits. You can change your entire life. But if the heart has not returned to Allah, nothing changes inside. The outside of your life may look beautiful, but the inside remains thirsty, and Allah sees that thirst. He sees the thirst that water cannot quench. He sees the hunger that food cannot satisfy. He sees the emptiness that company cannot fill. He sees the loneliness that laughter cannot hide. And He calls you, not to test you, not to hurt you, not to punish you, but to heal you. Healing from Allah does not look like a sudden miracle. It looks like a soft shift, a subtle awakening, a quiet clarity. You begin to notice the sunsets again. You begin to breathe deeper. You begin to sit with silence without feeling afraid. You begin to crave less from the world. You begin to need less from people. This is healing. Healing is when the heart finally says, "I don't want to run anymore. I don't want to search anymore. I don't want to chase what keeps breaking me." Healing is when the heart finally whispers, "Ya Allah, I am yours." And Allah responds, not with words, but with peace. A peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. A peace that doesn't come and go with people. A peace that sits deep in the chest like a soft light. A peace that feels like breathing after drowning for years. This is the peace that comes when the heart returns to Allah, not when life gets easier, not when wounds disappear, not when everything finally makes sense. No, peace comes when the heart says, "I trust you, Ya Allah, even when I don't understand, even when I am still healing, even when I am still scared, even when I am still hurting." Infacted, because peace is not the absence of pain. Peace is the presence of Allah. When Allah calls you back, He is not calling you to religion as a burden. He is calling you to safety, to the place where your heart can finally rest, to the place where your tears are understood without explanation, to the place where your fears are held without judgment, to the place where your wounds are healed without being exposed to the world. The call back to Allah is the most beautiful call you will ever receive, because it is the call of being loved by the one who never stops loving you, and the heart knows it. That is why the tears fall in sujood. They are not tears of sadness. They are tears of recognition, tears of returning, tears of being seen, tears of being held, tears of coming home. Your tears are a mark of a living heart. There are tears that are different from all other tears. Not the tears you cry when someone hurts you. Not the tears you cry from frustration or anger. Not the tears that come when life becomes overwhelming. There are tears that come from the soul. These are the tears that fall in sujood. These are the tears that fall when no words can explain what the heart is feeling. These are the tears that appear without warning, without reason, without thought. The kind of tears that don't fall from the eyes. They fall from somewhere much deeper. These tears are not a sign that you are weak. They are a sign that your heart is still alive. Because a dead heart does not cry. A numb heart does not tremble. A hardened heart does not melt. If your heart can still cry when it remembers Allah, then your heart is still breathing. And that is one of the greatest gifts you have been given. So many hearts in this world are alive on the outside, but dead on the inside. They walk, they speak, they laugh, they succeed, yet their hearts feel nothing. No guilt when they sin, no ache when they forget Allah, no longing when they drift away, no softness. But your heart still reacts. Your heart still responds. Your heart still feels something move inside the chest when it hears the Quran. Your heart still trembles when you lower your head in sujood. Your heart still softens, even if your life has hardened you. This is not weakness. This is faith. The tear that falls for Allah is not an ordinary tear. It is a treasure. It is a proof. It is a sign that Allah has not removed His mercy from your heart. A sign that your heart still recognizes its Creator. A sign that your soul still remembers where it came from. A sign that no matter how far you drifted, you are not lost. Your heart can still come back. Do you know how special that is? Some people live their entire lives without ever feeling Allah, without ever crying in prayer, without ever tasting the sweetness of a softened heart, without ever experiencing that moment when the soul touches heaven for a second. But you have, even if it was just once, even if it was just for a moment, even if it came unexpectedly. That moment was not random. That was Allah choosing your heart. Allah allowing your soul to breathe through tears. Allah reminding your heart that it still belongs to Him. Allah calling you gently back to where peace lives. Your tears are not embarrassing. Your tears are honored. Your tears are seen by the King of Kings. And He is not just watching them, He is answering them. No tear falls in sujood without being collected by the angels. No tear falls in remembrance of Allah without being written as worship. No tear falls in pain for Allah, except that Allah responds with mercy. The tear that falls for Allah today may be the tear that saves you on the day when no one can help you. The tear that falls in sujood may become the light that crosses your bridge on the day of judgment. The tear that falls from your heart may be the reason Allah says to you, "Come, you wept for me when no one saw you. So today I will honor you before all creation." You are not weak for crying. You are chosen, because Allah only softens the hearts He wants to bring near. And your heart is one of them. Not everyone receives this gift. Not everyone feels this pull. Not everyone experiences this melting. Not everyone is blessed with tears that carry no worldly reason. Your tears are a sign that Allah is still protecting your heart. He did not allow it to harden. He did not allow it to die. He did not allow the world to turn you into stone. Your heart survived, and it survived because Allah held it through things that would have destroyed someone else. Your tears in sujood are your heart remembering its home. And home is always Allah. There are people who go through life with hearts that have turned to stone. They laugh, they speak, they work, they move, they live, but they do not feel, not joy, not sadness, not mercy, not softness, not Allah. They have become numb, not because they are evil, But because the world has hardened them so much, their hearts have become closed. And sometimes they don't even realize it. A hardened heart does not cry. A hardened heart does not tremble. A hardened heart does not soften in prayer. But your heart still does. Even after everything you've been through, even after all the pain, even after the disappointment, even after the betrayal, even after the loneliness, even after the heartbreaks, even after surviving what should have destroyed you, your heart still feels. That means your heart is not dead. It means your heart is alive. And do you know how rare that is? There are people who would give everything, their money, their success, their comfort, just to feel something again, just to cry one tear in prayer, just to feel Allah close for even 1 second. But Allah gave you that softness. Not because you are perfect, not because you never sinned, not because you always stayed strong, not because you always remembered Him, but because He chose your heart. He protected your heart, even while you were breaking. He protected your heart, even when you didn't protect yourself. He protected your heart, even when you gave it to people who did not deserve it. He protected your heart, even when life pushed you into darkness. Your tears are evidence that Allah did not let your heart die. Because if your heart had died, you would not feel, you would not cry, you would not tremble, you would not long for Him, you would not miss Him, you would not ache for something deeper. Your tears are proof that your soul is still connected to its source. Sometimes you don't realize how special you are to Allah. The world sees your tears as weakness, but Allah sees your tears as worship. The world says, "Stop crying." Allah says, "Bring your tears to me." The world says, "Be stronger." Allah says, "Let me hold the strength for you." The world says, "Don't show emotion." Allah says, "Your emotion is a bridge to me." No tear for Allah is ever lost. Not one. There is a moment, maybe you've felt it, where the tear falls and something deep inside your chest loosens. Something heavy leaves you. Something tight releases. Something painful softens. This is not emotional release. This is Allah healing you. Healing you in a way no doctor can. Healing you in a way no therapist can. Healing you in a way no words can. Healing you in a way no person can. Healing you from the inside out. Because tears for Allah are not weakness. They are purification. Every tear washes the heart. Every tear rinses pain that words could not remove. Every tear carries away years of silent suffering. Every tear opens a door inside you where light can enter again. This kind of crying is not a breakdown. It is a rebirth. It is your heart returning to the one who created it. It is your soul remembering where peace comes from. It is your spirit finding its way back to the light after wandering in the dark for too long. A heart that cries for Allah is a heart that Allah is guiding. A heart that cries in sujood is a heart being pulled closer to Him. A heart that cries without explanation is a heart being cleansed. A heart that cries because it feels Allah is a heart that Allah has touched. There are tears that fall and nothing changes. And then there are tears that fall and everything changes. The tears that fall in sujood are not normal tears. They are not just feelings. They are not just emotions spilling out. They are your soul bowing before Allah in a language beyond words. Because your soul remembers Allah before your tongue does, before your mind understands, before your heart can speak. Your tear falls and your soul says, "Ya Allah, I am yours." You may not say it with your voice, but Allah hears it louder than a scream. The world believes strength means not crying, but Allah has always shown us the strongest hearts are the ones that cry for Him. Ibrahim alayhi salam cried. Musa alayhi salam cried. Maryam alayha salam cried. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam cried in sujood, in dua, in silence. The greatest souls did not hide their tears from Allah. So why should you? The world taught you to hold yourself together, to be strong, to be unshakable, to act like everything is fine. But Allah does not want the version of you the world shaped. He wants the version of you He created. Soft, alive, feeling, human. A heart that cries is a heart that is still alive. A heart that cries in sujood has not given up, has not died, has not turned cold, has not lost hope. Your tears said, I still believe you can heal me. I still believe you can guide me. I still believe you want me. I still believe you haven't left me. I still believe there is meaning in this pain. This is faith, not loud faith, not public faith, not perfect faith, but real faith, the kind that comes from the deepest part of you, the part that only Allah sees. And Allah loves this part of you the most, because this is the part that is honest, the part that doesn't pretend, the part that doesn't perform, the part that doesn't hide. This is the heart that Allah responds to fastest, sometimes faster than any dua, sometimes faster than any prayer, sometimes faster than any words, because tears are dua without sound. Tears are dua from the soul. And the Prophet ﷺ told us, a person who cries out of fear of Allah will never enter hell. Do you understand what that means? It means your tear today may be the tear that saves you tomorrow. The tear that fell quietly in the darkness may be the tear that delivers you into the light on the day of judgment. The tear that no human saw may be the tear that Allah honors you for before all of creation. You are not crying because you are weak. You are crying because Allah has kept your heart alive, even when life tried to harden it, even when heartbreak tried to close it, even when loneliness tried to numb it, even when sin tried to darken it. Allah protected it. He protected your heart from dying. Because He is not finished writing your story, your tear is not the ending. It is the beginning of your return, the beginning of your healing, the beginning of your closeness to Him, the beginning of the version of you He has been shaping quietly in the background all these years. Your tears are not your weakness. They are your proof that Allah is near, proof that your soul is awakening, proof that you are being guided, proof that your heart is being purified, proof that something beautiful is happening inside you even if you cannot see it yet. Not everyone receives this gift, but you did, because Allah chose your heart. And when Allah chooses a heart, He does not let it go, ever. There is a moment, after all the tears, after the shaking, after the heaviness, after the words you could not speak, after the silence, after the long nights, after the quiet heartbreaks no one knew about. There is a moment where something changes, not outside you, not in your circumstances, not in your situations, inside you. Something soft, something small, something you almost didn't notice. A whisper, not a voice in your ears, a voice in your soul, a voice that says, you are not alone. You have never been alone. I was with you even in the moments you thought I left. I was holding your heart when it was breaking. I was counting your tears when no one saw them. I was guiding your steps when you felt lost. I was loving you when you didn't love yourself. This whisper doesn't sound like a sentence. It doesn't feel like a thought. It feels like peace settling inside the chest, like something unclenches, like the air suddenly feels easier to breathe, like your heartbeat finally slows down, like you can be still without fear. This is the whisper of Allah's mercy, the whisper that arrives after the storm, not to explain the pain, but to heal what the pain touched. You begin to realize Allah was never punishing you. Allah was never pushing you away. Allah was never angry with you. Allah was never silent in anger. Allah was rearranging your heart. He was removing what was hurting you, even when you begged to keep it. He was pulling you away from what was killing your soul, even when you thought you needed it. He was breaking the false version of you to reveal the real one underneath, the one that knows how to love him, the one that knows how to surrender, the one that knows how to be soft again, the one that knows where home is. And now, in this quiet place, your heart is ready to hear the whisper. I never left you. You left yourself. You abandoned your heart to the world. You gave your peace to people. You handed your worth to situations. You let your hope depend on things that cannot carry it. But Allah did not leave. Not for a heartbeat. Not for a breath. Not for a second. He stayed. He stayed while you were hurting. He stayed while you were confused. He stayed while you didn't pray. He stayed while you were angry. He stayed while you were numb. He stayed while you searched for love in places that emptied you. He stayed because His love for you is not fragile. His love for you is not conditional. His love for you is not temporary. His love for you is eternal. You did not have to earn it. You did not have to deserve it. You did not have to prove yourself worthy of it. Allah loved you because He chose you. And now He is calling you gently, calling you tenderly, calling you with love so soft it feels like light touching water, not calling you to perfection, not calling you to become someone else, not calling you to change overnight, calling you to come home to peace, come home to trust, come home to remembering Him, come home to the place your soul has been longing for. Is not loud. It does not say, fix everything, be better, do more. It says, come to me. I will fix you. I will heal you. I will carry you. Just come, even if you're tired, even if you're broken, even if you don't know how to begin, even if you don't feel worthy, even if you feel like you've failed too many times. Just come. Allah is not asking for perfection. He is asking for you, as you are, right now, at this moment, with this heart, with these wounds, with these tears, with this weakness. Just come. There is a moment in every believer's return where the heart finally stops fighting. For so long, your heart held on by force, held on through fear, held on through survival, held on through exhaustion. You kept saying, I'm fine, it's okay, I'll handle it, I don't need help, I don't need anyone. But inside, you were shattering slowly, piece by piece, layer by layer, in silence. You carried wounds that nobody knew existed. You carried memories that felt too heavy to speak aloud. You carried pain that sat behind every smile, every word, every breath. And you thought you had to carry all of it alone. But now, in this quiet moment, after the tears have softened the heart, after the world has fallen silent, after Sujood has broken what pretending once held together, your heart hears the whisper again, the whisper that says, you don't have to be strong here. You don't have to hold everything anymore. You don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to explain yourself to me. You are safe with me. This is the whisper of the one who knows you better than you know yourself. The one who knows every secret grief. The one who knows every silent disappointment. The one who knows every hope you buried to survive. The one who knows every part of you, even the parts you hide from your own reflection. Allah is not asking you to speak. He is asking you to feel. Feel the weight you've been carrying. Feel the ache you've been avoiding. Feel the heartbreak you swallowed for years. Feel the longing your soul never stopped feeling. Because healing begins when the heart is allowed to feel again. And Allah is the safest place for your heart to feel. No judgment, no pressure, no rejection, no disappointment. Just mercy, just gentleness, just love that does not break you, love that holds you, grows clearer now. Come back to me, not because you are strong, but because you are tired. Allah knows. He knows you are tired of being the strong one, tired of being the one who understands, tired of being the one who forgives, tired of being the one who survives, tired of being the one who carries everything quietly. He knows your shoulders are heavy. He knows your heart is bruised. He knows your soul is weary. So he calls you gently. Let it go. Place it with me. I will take care of you. The kind of care no human can give. The kind of understanding no heart can offer. The kind of healing no words can describe. Because Allah does not heal like people heal. People heal you on the surface. Allah heals you from the inside. People treat the symptoms. Allah removes the cause. People comfort the moment. Allah rewrites the story. People love the parts of you they understand. Allah loves the parts of you even you don't understand. And then, slowly, very slowly, the heart begins to unclench. The tears soften. The breath deepens. The shoulders drop. The tightness fades. The fear dissolves. Your heart is finally safe enough to surrender. Not surrender in defeat. Surrender in peace. Surrender in belonging. Surrender in realizing, I was never meant to carry this alone. And Allah whispers, you never were. There is a moment, right after the release, right after the tears, right after the surrender, where something inside the chest begins to rise. Not fast, not loud, not dramatic, soft, like a small light turning on in a dark room. You don't even notice it at first. It feels like a breath that finally reaches the bottom of your lungs. It feels like warmth settling behind your ribs. It feels like your heartbeat finding a gentler rhythm. It feels like silence that doesn't scare you anymore. This is peace. Not peace from the world. Not peace from circumstances. Not peace from everything going right. No, this is peace from Allah. The kind of peace that makes no sense on the outside. The kind of peace that arrives while things are still unresolved. The kind of peace that comes while the same problems still exist. The kind of peace that doesn't wait for your life to be perfect. This is the peace of a heart that finally knows where to rest. You start to understand. Peace was never in control. Peace was never in results. Peace was never in people. Peace was never in certainty. Peace was always in Allah. You were searching in every direction, running from one thing to the next, trying to find relief in distractions, trying to find meaning in accomplishments, trying to find love in people who could not carry your heart. But peace was not there. Peace was waiting for you, in the place you had avoided, not because you didn't believe, but because your heart had been tired. Peace was waiting for you. In sujood, your forehead on the ground, your voice quiet, your heart exposed, your soul speaking without words. In that moment, you did not rise because you were strong. You rose because Allah lifted you. You rose because Allah healed something invisible, something silent, something you didn't know how to describe. That wound you couldn't name, it softened, not fully, but enough. Enough to breathe again, enough to hope again, enough to want Allah again. And that is the real beginning, not the moment of collapse, not the moment of crying, not the moment of pain, but the moment of light returning, the moment the heart whispers, I think I can try again. I think I can believe again. I think I can walk toward you again. Not because the world changed, not because everything became easy, not because the questions disappeared, but because your heart remembered Allah, your heart remembered its home, its owner, its purpose, its peace. And Allah had been waiting for that moment longer than you know. He had been waiting with mercy, waiting with forgiveness, waiting with gentleness, waiting with love that does not run out. You are not coming back to a Lord who resents you. You are coming back to a Lord who missed you. Becomes clearer. I have been here. I have always been here. I have never stopped loving you. You are mine, and you were always going to return. This return was written. This moment was written. This awakening was written. Long before you cried. Long before you hurt. Long before you wandered. Your return was written the day your soul was created. And now, you are beginning to walk home, not with perfection, not with certainty, not with flawless faith, but with sincerity. And that is all Allah needs from you. Stay here for a moment. Don't rush back into the world. Don't open another app. Don't distract your heart again. Just breathe. You were not guided to this reminder by accident. This was not coincidence. This was not just a video. This was a meeting between your heart and the one who created it. Somewhere between your sujood, your tears, your tiredness, and your longing, Allah chose this moment for you because there is a part of you that has been calling out to Him, quietly, silently, secretly. And Allah answered. He answered in the most gentle way He could, not with fear, not with force, not with warning, but with softness, with peace, with a whisper to your heart. Come back to me. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are being brought back, carefully, lovingly, patiently. Your journey with Allah does not need to be loud. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be understood by others. It only needs to be real. So tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your chest, close your eyes, take a slow breath, and speak to Allah. Even if your voice shakes, even if all you can say is, Ya Allah, please don't let me go. And He will not now, not ever. You are His. You always were, and you always will be. Rest your heart. You are closer to Allah than you think, and He is closer to you than your own veins. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of your return.